Welcome back to the MMA Explorers. Today, let's get started with Arman Tsarukyan calls out Justin Gaethje. Arman Tsarukyan is making it clear he wants Justin Gaethje in a title eliminator. Speaking on King of Violence with Chuck Liddell, Tsarukyan took issue with Gaethje campaigning for a lightweight title shot after recent setbacks. He pointed to Gaethje's brutal KO loss to Max Holloway and argued that his only win, a decision over short notice Rafael Fiziev, doesn't justify cutting the line. Tsarukyan said Gaethje needs to face real contenders first, and a win over him would actually earn that title shot. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on this video to support the channel. Let's aim for 10 likes.
Who'd you fight if you had a chance? Who you want? Top on your list.
Of course I want Islam, but like right now, it makes sense to fight with Gaethje. Because he's coming, he just beat number 11 or 12 Fiziev. He doesn't deserve title fight, that's 100%, because he lost just Holloway, beat on short notice, he beat Fiziev. Fiziev knew about the fight 5 days and like came and won him, but he won him barely decision, you know, and now he's talking about title fight. It's not fair, and that's why I think he gotta beat me to deserve for the title, fight for the title.
Joe Rogan and Khalil Rountree fooled by AI Khabib video on JRE. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience featuring UFC light heavyweight Khalil Rountree, Joe played what he believed was a motivational speech by Khabib Nurmagomedov. The clip, voiced in Khabib's signature tone and cadence, delivered powerful lines about discipline and purpose. Both Rogan and Rountree were impressed, taking turns praising Khabib for his wisdom and delivery, until they later discovered it was AI generated.
Really amazing conversation. Someone was interviewing him and they were talking about different addictions that fighters fall to and different things that sidetrack people. And he's like, the best addiction is discipline.
Real man, he addicted to discipline, to early wakes, to prayer, to training, to silence. Discipline no need motivation. Discipline move without feeling. Discipline say, I go anyway, even when tired, even when lonely. Discipline is best addiction. You want strong life? Discipline build it. You want peace? Discipline protect it. You want respect? Discipline earn it. No shortcut, only work. Be man with control, not man with excuse. No cry, no blame. You want better life? Start with better habits. Discipline every day until discipline become you.
I'm going to use that as my morning wake up now.
That's so incredible, man. Shout out to Khabib for that.
Shout out to Khabib. I mean, that's why he is who he is.
Dan Hooker says top lightweights are avoiding Arman Tsarukyan. Dan Hooker isn't holding back when it comes to Arman Tsarukyan's place in the UFC's lightweight division. Speaking recently on Submission Radio, Hooker claimed that several big-name fighters, including title hopefuls, are making excuses to avoid facing the rising contender.
He is a very good fighter, and now all those big-name guys they've got a good excuse to not fight him, you know, like Ilia said, he's not going to fight him. He's stuck fighting me, brother. He's got to fight me to get back in the mix and to get a title shot, and that's always the fight I want, and not because he's a prick and I hate him, but because I genuinely think he's the hardest fight, and all those big name guys have like an excuse to not fight him, because I think he is the best at winning fights. Like, he's not necessarily the most dangerous fighter, like Oliver is very dangerous, Gaethje is very dangerous. I think he's the best at winning fights, and so a lot of these guys have a justifiable reason to avoid fighting him. And so that's been my approach since I first stepped foot in the UFC, is that I want to fight the best guys, and I think Arman's the best guy. So that's the fight that I want, and that's the fight that I think they're going to make happen.
DC and Chael Sonnen predict Islam versus Ilia will happen at 1700. Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen believe a super fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria is inevitable, but not at lightweight. Speaking on their show, Good Guy, Bad Guy, both former fighters agreed that if the two champions ever meet, it'll be at welterweight, not at 155.
On pound-for-pound ranking. How exciting is that? Because very rarely have we gotten Islam saying, we're going to fight. We got that this weekend.
It's very interesting, and I would like to take Islam's temperature after he makes 170 and has success. And all I'm suggesting for you is I think the world's going to be very different for Islam if he becomes the champion of the world at 170. I think the first thing he's going to not want to do is visit 155 again. I think he's going to have these same conversations about Ilia of come on up. Bring it on. Go for triple champ status, but we do it here at 170. It's very tough for me to believe if Islam obtains world championship status at 170 that he's going to elect to go back to 155. And that's not something he's thinking now. That's not a reward that he's given himself just yet. But once he does it one time, sees how good he feels on fight week, his mere attitude, the attitude and the way that you can treat other people when you are not in starvation mode, I think it's something that Islam has earned. I think he's going to enjoy, and I'm a little light on the idea that he's going to return to 155.
RDR says Khamzat is easier to prepare for than Dricus Du Plessis. In a recent interview with ESPN MMA, Reinier de Ridder shared his thoughts on potential middleweight title matchups and had some surprising things to say. RDR claimed that preparing for Khamzat Chimaev is easier than getting ready for Dricus Du Plessis. He explained that Chimaev's wrestling-heavy, submission-focused style is more straightforward and easier to game plan for. In contrast, he sees Du Plessis' unorthodox and unpredictable approach as a far bigger challenge in terms of preparation.
I don't really care too much, but he would be like an easier guy to prepare for. Not that he is an easier fight, but he is more of a typical style. I can bring a couple of Dagestanis and a couple Chechens in who wrestle pretty similar to Khamzat. Mm-hmm. He boxes pretty cleanly, boxing style. So yeah, that is not that spectacular. It's spectacular. It's not that special in a sense that it's not as weird as Dricus is, you know. Mm-hmm. So it'll be harder to prepare for him, but he might, if he wins, he might be the bigger name. But in my mind, I'm fighting both those guys in the next 6 to 9 months anyway.
Jiří Procházka named backup for Pereira versus Ankalaev title fight. Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jiří Procházka has been confirmed as the backup fighter for the upcoming title bout between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. Procházka revealed the news during an appearance on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, stating that he's already begun preparations and will be ready to step in, if needed, for the championship main event.
I love the fact that your fight is on the same card as theirs. Has there been any indication if for whatever reason, if Pereira can't fight, you know, they always have a backup fighter. I would imagine either you or Rountree get the call. Is it you?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you'll be the backup.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that was the deal with UFC. Yeah. Okay.
TJ Dillashaw breaks down Cory Sandhagen's path to victory versus Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 320. Former bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw has weighed in on the upcoming title clash between Cory Sandhagen and Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 320 this October. Before we continue, help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers here on MMA Explorers. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily MMA content. In a recent analysis, Dillashaw broke down what Sandhagen needs to do to dethrone the relentless champ.
Yeah, okay, so if I'm Sandhagen, right? So Sandhagen definitely needs to stay away from standing in front of him. He's got to use his angles. He needs to be outside of Umar's shoulders, right? So think about it like, this is the track, right? If his shoulders are lined up right here, this is my track. I need to be outside these tracks, right? That train's gonna go straight and back. I need to be outside the tracks so that he can line up his strikes better without being threatened of getting taken down. Because you know that Merab's going to threaten. But as long as he can stay outside the shoulders, he's got a lot better chance of not getting taken down and staying off the cage. And that at the same time, when Merab gets dangerous and gets desperate, it starts to rush in more, then that's when those jumping knees down the middle could pay dividends for Sandhagen. Yeah, that snap kick that he has. Cory's real good with his hands. He can stay outside and slap hooks and get outside, slap and bring him down the middle. He's got to stay long. He's got to stay active to keep him off his own rhythm. Because Merab wants to get you into his rhythm. So using your own feints, staying outside his shoulders is what he has to do, right? And if he gets taken down on the ground, not trying to play that 50-50 and try to do submissions, he's got to get right back to his feet, even though that's going to make you tired. He's just going to win down there if he holds it down.
Let's wrap it up for the day. Thanks for watching.